It starts as a small ache below the kneecap after a few jumps. But for many basketball players, that's the beginning of jumper's knee. Jumper's knee is called patellar tendinopathy. It happens when the tendon just below the kneecap gets overloaded from repeated jumping and landing. Instead of adapting and getting stronger, the tendon becomes irritated and weakened from too much force too often. First, let's see why this happens to so many basketballers. Tendons need recovery time. Constant high-impact training without rest leads to breakdown. Landing with stiff, straight knees sends huge force straight into the tendon instead of absorbing them through the hips. When the hips and quads are weak, the knee caves inward, increasing strain on the patellar tendon. Hard courts, especially outdoor, increase impact forces with every jump and landing.
All right, now that we know what jumper's knee is and why it happens, let's talk about how to prevent it.
Before we talk strength, we need to prepare our joints and muscles for impact. First, step forward into a lunge and rotate your torso towards the front leg. This activates the hips and core while preparing the knees for jumping and landing. Band walks activate glutes, helping keep the knees aligned during jumps. Good ankle mobility allows deeper, softer landings, reducing stress on the knee. A strong tendon is a resilient tendon. Building quad strength helps the patellar tendon withstand the high loads of basketball. Starting with slow squats, keep the knees tracking over the toes and then stand up. Controlled squats build quad strength. Wall sits strengthen the quads isometrically, helping the tendon tolerate sustained load. Single leg strength improves control and reduces overload during play. The knee doesn't work alone. It sits in the middle of the kinetic chain between the hips and ankles. If the hips are weak or the ankles are stiff, the knee ends up absorbing all the force.
So instead of focusing on the knee, we need to make the entire chain stronger and more stable.
Stronger calves help absorb impact forces and reduce the stress traveling up to the knee. And stronger hip muscles keep the knee from collapsing inward, protecting the patellar tendon.
How you jump and how much you jump matters just as much as strength.
Landing stiff with little knee or hip bend sends most of the force straight through the knee and patellar tendon. Instead, land softly with your hips and knees bending together to absorb the force. This spreads the load through the hips, knees and ankles instead of overloading the tendon.
Your shoes are your first line of shock absorption. Worn out or unsupportive shoes can increase the stress on your knees.
When cushioning breaks down, more force travels directly to the patellar tendon. Look for good cushioning, stable heel support, and firm midsole that doesn't collapse inward. Okay, now if you already have jumper's knee, this next video shows you exactly how to rehab and return to play safely.
And get you back on the court without that annoying knee pain.